Hello, this is Richie from PlayStationCountry.com, and today we're taking a look at Dying Light on the PlayStation 4. And this is a open world survival horror action combat, I don't know, zombie game basically. So as with Techland's previous zombie outing, Dead Island, this is exactly what you would expect from this type of game, and that's probably why it's been getting some very mixed reviews. Now we'll look at both kind of points of view, starting with what's bad about the game. And what's bad is that you've seen it all before. I mean, not just from Dead Island, but any kind of zombie story. It's always going to be the same thing. Yeah, sure, there's zombies running around, and yeah, they're scary, but it's the people who are going to be the biggest threat to you. Everyone's kind of out for themselves and a bit of a prick, apart from the guys who you start with in this tower, who are just trying to kind of get by, and they very kindly do stuff like showing you how to jump off buildings without shattering your kneecaps. And this is also that you can become a runner. A runner is somebody who runs along, you know, buildings, rooftops, fences, walls, whatever, parkour style, to do various fetch quests. And most of the time you're going to be sent over there to talk to that guy, or pick up that thing, or press that switch, and then come back and tell us that you did it. That's pretty much what you'd expect for any open world game, and yes, we're all kind of a bit bored of that structure by now. So aside from the story quests, obviously you've got side missions where you go and help people out, you've got loot to collect, you've got weapons to make and find. It's really standard stuff, and you're not going to be getting too many new gameplay experiences from the game, and so for that reason alone it's very hard to recommend. Also, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't approach this game with a kind of, okay, let's get a couple of hours done, kind of putting in a shift kind of mentality, and then going off and playing something else that I actually want to play. Or at least that was the case at first. You see, the game takes a long time to get going. The zombies, for the most part, they're just there. You can run past them. If they grab you, they're not going to do too much damage, and it's all kind of pretty straightforward. The combat is a little bit clumsy, and so, you know, at first you're thinking, well, okay, it looks kind of nice, the environment is kind of interesting to a degree, I can kind of buy into the story. But it does get better, pretty much after your first day, because there's a day-night cycle, and at night the game becomes a lot more difficult. There are things out there that will kill you on sight that are very difficult to finish off, and when you're running around you're scared of making any noise, you're scared of lighting up your flashlight, and there's just these giant creatures just coming after you trying to kill you. The game gets pretty damn tense. It's a shame that during the day there's absolutely no level of threat, but at night, yep, it's pretty good. Also, after a while you unlock this whole other area of the sort of city, which is called Old Town, and we're seeing it here, and that's where it also kind of gets a bit of an Assassin's Creed kind of vibe, and the enemies here, even during the day, are a lot more kind of ferocious than normal. Eventually the weapons get better, you pick up rifles and pistols, you start making Molotovs and shurikens and throwing knives and whatever you need. It starts getting a lot more interesting. They start funneling zombies at you, so there's a bit more combat, as opposed to you just kind of running past everything, or thinking, right, I'll avoid that by just going up onto that building, which is obviously a really good thing about the parkour, is the fact that you can pick and choose your battles, but later on stuff's going to really start coming for you, and it's going to get a lot more kind of interesting. But even so, it's still a tricky one to recommend. I can imagine a lot of people just getting very bored of this, or not wanting to stick out the first few days of play to then get to the point where it's a bit more interesting. It's also a pretty tough game at times. There's some boss battles that aren't particularly much fun. There's some enemy types that are gonna, you know, like this one, they'll chase right after you. These guys can also follow you up buildings. It suddenly becomes, you know, pretty tricky. Dying Light isn't perfect and it isn't for everyone, but I found it to be often challenging, fun, exciting, occasionally scary, and that's kind of what you want from this game. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check us out on PlayStationCountry.com and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Drop us a like, drop us a dislike, tell us that the videos are shit. I don't know. Hey, we're not professionals. We're just people who record stuff and talk and don't know how to end a video properly. Like, buy